worst job role you hated most? My restaurant loved team shifts because managers said they built cooperation and real-world experience. But all I learned was how to cover for everyone while others slacked off, and I got tired of pretending it was okay. It was my final month as assistant manager at Romano's, and during our busiest season, we had a major catering order worth $3,000, our biggest contract ever. But it required a 6-person kitchen crew, and we couldn't choose our own team. My crew was a disaster from the start. I got Marcus, Bella, and the college roommates. Marcus was the wannabe influencer, Bella couldn't handle pressure without crying, and the roommates treated every shift like their personal hangout session. At our first prep meeting, Marcus told us he couldn't work late because of his content creation schedule. Bella didn't know what dishes we were making, and the roommates just argued about whose turn it was to clean the fryer. So I knew we were doomed immediately. I assigned everyone specific tasks and created a detailed prep schedule, and I even organized extra practice runs, but nobody followed through. Marcus sent one TikTok of himself cooking and never showed up for prep. Bella added salt to one batch of sauce and disappeared for 2 hours, and the roommates never even checked the schedule. So I did what I always did. I handled everything. I stayed until midnight every night that week and prepped all the proteins, made every sauce, organized the entire service plan, and even labeled each person's station with step-by-step instructions. But this time, I was done being the safety net. So I took photos of all my prep work and recorded videos showing the empty stations where my teammates should have been working. Then I texted our head chef, Chef Rodriguez, with everything. I wrote that it was just in case our service didn't go smoothly. He never replied, but I knew he saw it because he started watching our team more closely. But it didn't end there. The morning of the catering event, I made my final move. I went to the walk-in cooler and took all the prepped ingredients I'd made and moved them to the back storage room. Then I locked it and kept the key. That afternoon, I told my team not to worry about prep because I had everything ready, and they actually high-fived me. The dining room was packed because it was our showcase event, and we were supposed to serve at 6 p.m. sharp. So Chef Rodriguez nodded for us to start service, and I walked to my station and opened my prep containers, but they were all empty. My team freaked out, so I stared at the empty containers and told them I must have grabbed the wrong bins from storage. But Chef Rodriguez crossed his arms and told us service starts now. So we tried, but it was a complete meltdown because everyone scrambled around making mistakes and burning everything. Orders backed up for 2 hours and customers started leaving, and Chef Rodriguez told us to shut it down, and that was it. An hour later, he called me to his office, and I walked in sweating because I didn't know if he'd respect it or fire me. But he pulled out his phone showing my texts and asked me if I orchestrated it. I said yes, but he asked me if they really contributed nothing, and I told him not one dish. So he nodded slowly and told me he'd been watching lazy teammates ruin good workers for years, but I gave him the proof he needed to act. The next week at our staff meeting, he announced that starting immediately, individual accountability replaced team shifts because someone showed him the truth last week. He restructured everything because someone sent him honest documentation and solid evidence, and the slackers finally faced consequences.